Let's start. It's the second zoology video tutorial. Here, see, 77 alpha keratin is a protein, as we know that. That is the present in, yes, that is the present in a skin. That will be B. 77 is going to be why it is so, because alpha keratin is a protein found in the skin, hair, nail, claws, and hooves of the animal. That's why, especially. Now 78 is what is the average of the fat content in a buffalo milk. High amount, of course, so as we know, rather than especially cow milk. So here 78 is going to be a will be, because here 7.2% is going to be a, so I mean 76, sorry, this is a 78. So 78, as we know that, why? Because average fat contained in a buffalo milk is 7.2%, as we know. Average fat contained in the cow milk, this is a 4.4%. So definitely here, as per the nutrient, the component buffalo milk contains is all the nutrient higher than the cow milk. So definitely this can be here. Now 79. The major component of the honey, of course, that is going to be fructose. Fructose, as we know that is an energy sources, but when we talking about the composition of the honey, that is, as we know that fructose is 38.2%, glucose is 31%, and water 70.1%, maltose is 7.2%, carbohydrate 4.2%, sucrose, of course, 1.5%, and minerals is 0.5%. So highly amount of which one? That is a fructose, of course. 80. Artery supplying the blood to the heart is called blind. Artery supplying the blood to a heart. Heart means, of course, heart. Heart is going to be a coronary artery, of course, supplying the heart. So C will be 80 is going to C. Why? Because reminder that, my dears, here's the coronary artery supplying the blood to a heart. Carotid, last one D is going to be a head, last one D. So remind you that carotid artery is supplying to a, of course, the head region, and hepatic for liver, as we know that hepatocyte cell compose the, of course, the liver. So hepatic artery supplying to a liver, and pulmonary artery supplying to a, of course, lung. It's easy. Now daily intake of the protein recommended for moderately active woman. See, daily intake of the protein, the recommended moderately active the woman, that is a 46, of course. Now, of course, that will 81 is going to be a day. Why? Because the daily intake of the protein for active woman is a 46 gram, but at the pregnant condition, of course, the women, the protein requirement increased to 47 point, of course, 47 to the 60 gram per day. We can give some there, but it's true, of course. So 82 number. Now match the list. Here's the malaria, where is going to be a malaria. Malaria is going to be, of course, attacking the lymph node, as the filaria is going to be a lymph node, as we know. Malaria is the blood cell. Leukemia is a leukemia is, of course, it's a bone marrow cancer, and encephalitis is, of course, it happens in the brain. So here, which one is going to be a 82? 82 is going to be a, here B will be the correct answer. Yes, because remember that because malaria, you know that it's in the blood. Remember that. So malaria, it's in the blood. The full explanation, let me inform that malaria is a parasitic, alright, disease spread through the sucking of the blood through mosquitoes, alright. Malaria parasite invade the blood cells. The virus of the encephalitis is most active in the brain. So definitely encephalitis goes to brain, of course, and filaria parasite is found in the lymph node, of course, it attacks on the lymph node. And leukemia, that is a cancer, of course, the malignant happens, immature proliferation of the, of course, WBC, that is called a leukemia in a bone marrow, of course. Immature proliferation of WBC in a bone marrow, that may be called a leukemia. Now 83 number questions. See what is the sayings, and then, of course, we have already Tau 2 is that antigen and antibody, of course. See, what is antigen? Any foreign particle which is embedded in our body to induce the, of course, to provoke, to induce the immune system to stimulate the of course, to stimulate the, of course, the any can to stimulate the lymphocyte to, of course, the stimulate the chemical secretion, that is antibody, of course. So that will be called. So antigen, what is that? Antigen substances which, of course, where is that? Antigen, C. Low body temperature, no. Destroy the harmful bacteria, triggers of the immune system, and use an antidote to, no. C will be here the correct answer, of course. 83 is going to be a C. Why? Because has been that antigen, when we talking, antigen foreign molecule that's embedded the body of an organism. Antigen also induce the immune system to response. The immune system responds to, of course, stimulate the lymphocyte to the produce the antibody. The majority of them are the protein and carbohydrate found in the wall of the bacteria on the sealed wall. Yes, but the virus is the coated the reminder of that. So at that condition, of course, the becomes the antigen. That is, of course, it triggers the immune system because it's the foreign particle, it's a pathogenic organism. You can mention that, of course. You can categorize it as, for example, the pathogenic organism. When it turns down the body, it doesn't cause the infections due to defining the oxygen, as we know that antibodies are segregated. So when we talk about the antigen foreign molecule, that's, of course, provoke to immune response to stimulate the lymphocyte, and the lymphocyte, as we know, two types, that B and T, where the B is going to give us the production of the antibody in the against of the antigen, of course. So now 84. See, the sequencing of the entire genome, the totality of all the gene of an organism was completed in yes 1996 of the organism was, of course, the Plasmodium vivax. No need to. 84 is going to be a D. Why it is so? Because sequencing of the entire genome, the totality of all gene completed in 1996 in the Plasmodium vivax, of course, vivax. Now 85. See, examine of the following as in that the statement: the proceed meat is perishable. All perishable food are packed in the cell tins, and the cell tins sometimes too don't contain processed meat. So here asking that inference can be from the above passage, above as been the statement, sorry. So yes, processed meat is always packed in the cells, of course, and that will be C. 85 is going to be C. Why is it? Because as we know that we can draw the inference that the processed meat is always packed in cells 10. So that's going to be 86. Now see, which one of the following the types of the microorganism is the most used in industries area? Of course, that is your bacteria and firstly, see, let me inform the mind here that bacteria, microalgae, and the fungi. Bacteria, microalgae, and fungi is most widely used in industrial areas, of course, because as we know, the bacteria like lactobacillus, as we used in fermenting, of course, the manufacturing of the vinegar, of course, vinegar and alcohol by the fermentation process. The most of the algae are used in the single cell protein, that is a spirulina difference. Drugs like the penicillin is manufactured, of course, manufactured from the fungi penicillin, not a term. So definitely this can be here, that will be a D, because bacteria is also, of course, the microalgae, algae, and especially fungi is also, because the penicillin, of course, the penicillin medicine, we have already mentioned to you that penicillin medicine, of course, that is manufactured from the fungi, penicillium terms. Now 8 number C, mention the list according to that. Which one is going to be 87 is going to be the correct, as when that here that informs the my dear that theory of the mutations is postulated by D. Various, of course, theory of the evolution, Charles Darwin, no doubt, and Orpin concept is given by Jobek Monand, and the one gene, one enzyme hypothesis is proposed by the Beadle and Tottenham. So B will be correct here, my dears. because of, as we know, theory of the mutation is going to be a D virus. And match of dash line, that will be easy for you. Of course, now 3. See, the 3 species in, of course, Mauritius, the fall to response. The 3 species, the Mauritius, the fall to is reproducing because of the extinction of the fruits eating the bird. Which one of the following is going to be? Of course, dado. It's repeated 2 to 3 times, of course, in the UPSC exams. So remember that's my just data words, of course. So has been that. I mean 88 number. Yes, data word species existed only on the island of the Mauritius. So due to the short beings, bookie, of course, bookie birdie and dado bird couldn't fly, and the flea in the face of the danger so the woman used to the cow for food. Of course, later this species became extinct. You know that. Look to Honey from the Mauritius, of course, with the bird. The species was the help in the pollinating and the propagating seed of the tree. So that can be the concern here. Dado bird. This will be dado. Now see here. The complete conversion of the glucose in the presence of the oxygen into the carbon dioxide and the water with the release of the energy is called, yes, see, in the presence of oxygen, that will be aerobic, but in the absence of the oxygen, that will be inna. Inna means nay, remind you of that in the brain. And means nay means there will be no oxygen, remember that. So A will be the correct here. So because aerobic and anaerobic, as we know that if we are going to define after that, then complete conversion of the glucose in the presence of the oxygen into the carbon dioxide and the water release the energy called aerobic respiration. Remind you this. Enna means no oxygen, means absence of the oxygen there. Now 19 number, the consumption of the fish is considered to be the healthy when compared to the fish of the other animal, because fish contains, why it is so? Because of, as we know that polysaturated fatty acid, the saturated fatty acid, essential vitamin, the more carbohydrate, the problem. This is absolutely wrong, my dear. Essential vitamin, no, that is also wrong. Saturated fatty acid, that can be the concern. The 90 is going to no. Yes, polysaturated fatty acid contents, and that's why. And as we know that eating fish, the people feels delicious, and of course, because of it, and the polysaturated, of course, polyunsaturated fatty acid content in the high amounts, and that's why especially so A will be the correct here. Now see, it is my dears. Malaria is of course the protozoan disease, as we know that. Poliomyelitis is a virus disease, and tuberculosis is a bacterial disease. The ringworm is the fungi disease. So which one is going to be the correct answer? The ringworm is going to be a 1. Alright, so D is going to be the 1. Which one? This one. Now C is absolutely, of course, A. Malaria is the protozoan disease. I have already mentioned first. A is going to 4. So which will be 91 is going to be A, of course. Why it shows? Because 91 is going to be A. Why it show? Because the malaria, the parasite, is a protozoan disease, tuberculosis, the bacterial disease, the ringworm is the fungus disease, and poliomyelitis is a virus disease, of course. 92. Let's see. Hemophilia, of course, B discussed 2 to 3 times, and that is genetic disorder. Lead to B, of course, that is, of course, hemophilia, genetic disorder, of course, rheumatic heart disease, that cannot be decreasing of that can non-blood clotting, of course. In a hemophilia condition, there is going to be, of course, non-blood, of course, non-clot, of the blood, and bleeding too much in the hemophilia. So 92, as we know that, let you for your more knowledge, 92, the hemophilia is a sex-linked disease, as been the recessive disorder. Of course, the clotting of the blood is of normally delay. That's even the simple or the small cuts will result in stop the bleeding is the fact in the individual. That's why especially. Now 93 is going to be an endoscopy. What is used to be the explore the stomach and other in the parts of the body used. Yes, the phenomenon is going to be a, yes, internal reflections. So 93 is going to be a, of course, is going to be a answer. Why is it? Because endoscopy has been that refer to the moving inside of the body through endoscopy. Endoscope is an instrument used to examine interior, of course, the whole of the organ of the body, having. Yes, yeah, that's true. The bow scope technique because of that. So definitely, it's what is the function of the endoscopy has been that, of course, we can say total internal reflections due to helping of the bore, of course, with the help of the borescope technique. So it will be correct. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial. Of course, the next question we will proceed in next video tutorial. Thank you. Have a great time.